38 runs in her last 4 games, Amanda. They are hitting their stride at the right time.
Their number one strength of schedule is paying off right here toward the end of the season. They put up big numbers, big home run numbers and runs in their last 4 games, hitting over 310 home runs.
That's the story offensively. Pitching-wise, there's a lot of depth on this staff, and SHELBI SUNSERI gets the ball for game 1 of this 3-game series.
The senior SHELBI SUNSERI can throw just about everything. However, when I watch her pitch, the pitch that I think she relies the most on is that drop ball. Although, don't be scared because she will throw any pitch in any count, and don't get caught off guard.
And here is the scary lineup for Arkansas because right from the start, Hannah McEwen can get things going. Burnside with the 24 home runs and 51 runs batted in. This is a very dangerous lineup with 87 home runs in the season. The first pitch from SUNSERI is in there in front of a big crowd. 100% capacity allowed for the first time at Tiger Park. Now the number is going to be held down a little bit because it is raining at first pitch, but they have turned out in Baton Rouge to see this matchup between LSU and first place Arkansas. .79 degrees and light rain at LSU at first pitch.
Now, it's one of the toughest places to play in the SEC, and not just in the SEC, but in the country because of how passionate their fan base is and because of that thick air that tends to keep the ball in the ballpark. This is a really interesting matchup, but love to see the fans in the stands getting to see it in person.
2-2 to McEwen at .337 on the season. Was 0 for 6 in the Kentucky series for the Razorbacks. Arkansas dropped 2 out of 3 in that series. Huge win on Monday to avoid the sweep. Count goes full to McEwen. SUNSERI with 67 strikeouts on the season and holding. What McEwen does so well is get on base. She had 4 walks in the series against Mizzou, and she's aboard to start things off for Arkansas.
Well, the other thing that you need to know about Arkansas's offense is not just that they hit the long ball, but they take their walks number 3 in the nation and walks number 2 in the nation and home runs.
Here is Braxton Burnside with 24 home runs. Swings at the first pitch. A little squibber run on the hands, and they'll get McEwen on the force out for the first out of the first.
Burnside chose to be aggressive, swings at this inside pitch up and in on her hands. She decided to go for it. She's one of the best home run hitters in the country. You got to trust her, but SUNSERI is able to jam her, get it in on her hands, and get that force out at 2.
SUNSERI's last appearance was game 1 of the doubleheader against Kentucky. Went the distance, gave up 7 runs, 5 earned, and 7 hits, but battled through for LSU to do what they do so well, win series. They took 2 out of 3 in Lexington. Here's Hannah Gamble, the freshman, .342 on the season. And down the count, 0-2. Gamble was hitting leadoff in the 8 games prior to the Monday game. That one just misses. It's 1-2. But McEwen seems to be the more natural fit at leadoff, and Gamble has done an outstanding job her freshman season wherever she's been put in the lineup.
Well, and you know that there's a whole lot of respect from the Arkansas coaching staff to put Gamble behind Braxton Burnside. Burnside with the 24 home runs, one of the best home run hitters in the country. She's going to get pitched around a lot. They choose to put a freshman behind her.
And she has worked the count full to 3-2. Gamble pops it up in foul territory. Moving over is Georgia Clark to put it away for out number 2. Well, this is a huge weekend for Courtney Deifel's team. It is the final weekend of the regular season. And things have gotten a little bit more interesting here because Florida has lost to Mizzou. So Deifel's team entered this weekend, Amanda, knowing that if they swept, no matter what Florida did, they would earn at least a share of the regular season title. But now that Florida has lost, now Deifel's team can win 2 out of 3 and be guaranteed at least a share of the regular season title. If they sweep, they will be regular season champs.
It's nice to be in the driver's seat and also be the new kid on the block, because for the past 12 seasons, it's either been Alabama or Florida at the top of the SEC standings when the regular season's been done.
1-1 the count to Danielle Gibson, leading hitter for this Arkansas team at .385. Been really good over the last couple of weeks. Two and one. Gibson could not check, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, not very often that you're going to see Arkansas get outside of their strike zone, especially on a 2-1 count. Gibson being aggressive and can't hold back on that drop ball that had a little bit of tail away from her too.
Gibson couldn't check that time, and it's a strikeout for SUNSERI.
SUNSERI staying on the outside part of the plate with a couple of check swings, but pulling the string a little off-speed pitch to get Danielle Gibson with a strikeout.
Well, we know what Arkansas has done at the plate, but they've been very good in the circle as well. Amanda, Mary Half gets the start in game 1.
Mary Half, one of the best pitchers to wear an Arkansas uniform. She's going to be more up in the zone with her rise ball. She'll also mix in a curveball and a nasty changeup. It's going to be up to these LSU hitters to lay off of that rise ball and see it down in the zone.
Aaliyah Andrews will get things going for LSU. Team's leading hitter at .366. Sarah Briggs, number 2 hitter, hits in the 2-hole. 4 freshmen in the lineup for Beth Tarina. This is a team that she said right from the start of the season they were going to play their best softball late in the year because there were so many young players on this team, and that has really been the case. 10 wins in the SEC, 28 wins overall. And Andrews chops it to Burnside, and the wild throw. And Andrews on the first pitch is aboard to get things going for LSU.
Speed. LSU's offense has such a perfect balance of speed and power. Right away, Andrews puts the ball on the ground, and Burnside knows that she has to have a quick transfer to be able to get rid of the ball to get the speed of Andrews. But when you have speed, you put pressure on a defender, you put pressure on a defense, and you make things happen like get on base.
It is scored a hit for Andrews. It looked like a good throw would have had her at first. But she's aboard, stretches her hitting streak to 6 games, and Andrews running on the first pitch. This is going to be the big contrast for these two teams as LSU will use their speed, as Amanda talked about. That's the 25th stolen base this season for Aaliyah Andrews. Arkansas, by contrast, has attempted just 5 stolen bases all season. Just 5.
It's so funny every time you hear it.
You know that old saying, when somebody gets on, it's like they're a threat to steal. And I, thought about saying, well, when McEwen got on, well, she's not a threat to steal. And then Burnside was on, she's not a threat to steal. You can go. Courtney Deifel laughs about it because they haven't attempted a stolen base since March 28th. It's just what their offense is built around, whereas LSU is going to put pressure on you on the base pass, and right away Andrews is in scoring position, and the count's 1-2 to Briggs.
Yeah, LSU is definitely their best offensively when she's on base and setting the tone early. That's what a leadoff hitter does.
Another one to Burnside. This throw is on target. Andrews holds it second one away.
It's a big out, Eric, because you have speed up at the plate with Briggs, who has a ton of different tools at her disposal, and also speed at second base. Perfectly played by Burnside to be able to keep Andrews at second base and all the while get Briggs out at first.
Arkansas's defense has been pretty solid, .972 fielding percentage, fifth in the SEC, fifth fewest errors at 36 on the season, and strike one to Taylor Pleasance. Freshman leading LSU in homers and runs batted in, 10 home runs on the season, and she sends one to foul ground in left field and out of play. Giving chase was McEwen.
You know, she is such a presence at the plate. She plays shortstop, has so much range because of her height and her long arms and long legs, but also she has so much plate coverage, and she's not scared to get up on top of the plate, take away the inside corner, and really be able to have really good plate coverage with those long arms.
The 0-2 right to the first baseman Gibson, who gets the second out. Andrews takes third. So two down for the sophomore first baseman, Georgia Clark, coming off a good series against Kentucky. Had 4 hits, including a home run, 3 runs batted in. After dropping game 1 of that series, 7-5, LSU scored 10 runs in each of the next 2 games. It was a doubleheader because of the weather. LSU hit 8 home runs in the series. Clark has 7 on the season. Lifts a fly ball to shallow right field, moving back, and a long way to go for the second baseman, Huffine, who tracks it down to retire the side.
No runs on the hit, no errors, and 1 left on.
In the SEC, in order to beat a good team, you have to play defense like this. Keely Huffine covering 50 yards, and Mary Haff is pumped.
7th in the country. They are in first place in the SEC. 38 wins on the season, 4 shy of the school record. We've talked about the long balls. That's helped them to 17 SEC wins, 2 shy of the school record. They have done it right from the start of the season. They went 12-0 in the SEC to get things going. Braxton Burnside has been one of the big stories in college softball with the 24 home runs. And can they do it? Can they win their first SEC championship? If things come together the right way this weekend, they could be celebrating at LSU. It has been a remarkable turnaround for this program, Amanda, under Courtney Deifel. 1 win in her first season in the SEC, and here they are in first place on the 1st of May.
Well, they put themselves in such a good position early on in SEC play whenever they started out 12-0 and they swept their first 4 opponents. When you do that, you put yourself in such a good position to be able to win that championship, and they're still at the top.
SUNSERI starts with strike 1 to Lenny Malkin. Malkin at .278 on the season. And tries this one foul. Well, McEwen's put up big numbers, and Burnside and Gamble and Gibson. Malkin is having a really good year, Amanda. 15 home runs. And what did Courtney Deifel say was the key? She exhaled this year. That sometimes is all it takes. Just exhale, breathe, and you'll play better and you'll hit well.
Which sometimes is easier said than done. And you need a reminder, and you need multiple reminders to breathe, slow your heart rate down, and not make an at-bat or a game or a season bigger than it is. But what's so impressive about Lenny Malkin, she has 15 home runs this season. It's more home runs this season than in her first 3 seasons combined. One
1-2 the count to Malkin, leading off the second for the Razorbacks. And SUNSERI pulls the string. Malkin watches it for strike 3. Second strikeout for SUNSERI, one away.
Seen SUNSERI mix in her off-speed pitch or her changeup a couple of times already in this game, paints the outside corner, maybe even gets a little bit off the plate. Morgan Cubbins does a good job helping her pitcher out and freezing Lenny Malkin on the check swing by changing speeds, throwing off the timing of these Arkansas hitters.
Kayla Green steps in. She swings at the first pitch. Green has raised her average up to 238 on the season thanks to hitting at 353 over her last 11 games. Fixture behind the plate for the Razorbacks. Sends this one out to the left fielder, Briggs, 2 down.
You know, ever since SUNSERI walked the lead off Hannah McEwen, she's really settled into this game. Of course, that's how Arkansas is able to score a lot of runs, is oftentimes they capitalize on walks, free passes that are on base, and they end up hitting the long ball and just exponentially increasing their run numbers because they're not just hitting solo shots. There's usually always somebody on base when they hit it.
Again, swinging at the first pitch, SUNSERI knocks it down, takes her time, and gets Monzo to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Razorbacks. We've played 1.5 in Baton Rouge, scoreless.
Talked about because her bag got lost in transit, so she didn't have her cleats, she didn't have her own glove. She's having to borrow a student manager, Rachel Longmaid's glove, and bought new cleats, so they are pearly white and dirty a little bit at this point.
So Rachel Longmaid, student manager, gets the assist. She's the 10th player here for Arkansas, as those new cleats,
so white.
I mean, they've gotten a little dirty, but not much.
And
There's a strike. It's 0-2.
Is that as a pitcher, you usually always have your toe dipped, so you have some rubber at the end of your drag toe so that your cleats last longer. So I'm very curious how long these cleats actually last, Mary Half, and if maybe they have a hole in them by the end of the weekend. I don't know. It happens, though. It's pitcher life. You get holes in your cleats from your drag if you don't have your toe dipped.
Well, maybe there was like a buy one, get one free sale at the sporting goods store, and she is anticipating being here in the circle for a couple times this weekend. We're anticipating that in the big series against LSU. 1-2 to Gutierrez. Doesn't get the call. It's 2-2. So that was the report. Just one final thing, Amanda. That was the report we got from the Arkansas folks, that her bag was lost in transit. I'm trying to think, had that happened to you at any time? Did your glove, your cleats, your uniform, as Half gets a strikeout, I'm using the quote fingers here, lost in transit somewhere during your playing days? And how did you make up for it?
I don't think ever in college that happened, but I would have to think that I left my bag in high school or in travel ball, middle school, like something like that, and my mom bailed me out once or twice, just like I would leave homework or a paper at home and she'd have to bring it up to school.
Here's Amanda Doyle with 1 out and takes ball 1. Doyle at third base at 256 on the season, 8 home runs.
But what you've seen out of Mary Half in her career at Arkansas is just someone who has been so steady and so consistent. 72 wins and a 1.69 career ERA for Mary Half, never getting above 2.0. Which is really impressive, that not one of those years that she just didn't have a year after there were scouting reports on her that people had started to figure out that maybe it got inflated a little bit.
Doyle sends it to right center field. It drops in for the second hit of the night for LSU. She's aboard with 1 down here in the second.
You could tell by her face. I was like, well, that wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but it worked. Didn't get all of it, but got enough of it to find the green out there in the outfield.
Well, you mentioned Mary Haff. I mean, she's been doing it at a high level right from her first year in 2018. 29 wins, setting the program record at Arkansas. SUNSERI fouls it off for strike one. That was the season where Arkansas hosted the regional in Fayetteville. She was outstanding in that regional, getting the Razorbacks to the Super Regional. Has just kept it at that high level ever since.
We talked a lot about
SUNSERI.
Arkansas's offense, but what also makes them a really solid team is the fact that they have two aces in the circle that pitch two complete different ways. Mary Haff and Autumn Storms, Haff being more up in the zone with her rise ball, Storms being down in the zone with a drop. They complement each other so well.
Now, Storm's innings have been limited as of late due to injury, and we don't know how much we'll see her this coming weekend. Pitched Monday at Mizzou. Courtney Deifel says it's really day-to-day with how they're using Storms right now, and you think a lot of that is tied in because Deifel keeps talking about the big picture as SUNSERI fouls it off, not just winning an SEC regular season title, which would be great, but when you're coming out of the SEC, you're thinking SEC tournament title. You're thinking NCAA tournament. You're thinking getting to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, absolutely. But not so wrapped up in it to where if they don't win the championship, then this season's totally at a loss. It's not like that at all. They don't have that mindset.
SUNSERI back to Haff, tries to backhand it out of the glove, and she gets the out. Well, the Rachel Longmate glove coming in handy at the right time for Mary Haff. 2 down.
Longmate, and the glove is a mate of hers, especially right here. Just more of a defense to get it up. But I love the backhand flip with her glove. Look, that is a feel thing, a finesse thing. And for that to not be your glove and have a good feel for that, that's an athletic, really nice play by Mary Haff.
That means you truly have feel and finesse. It's not the glove, it's the person wearing the glove, because you can use someone else's glove and still make that play.
Just so smooth. Reactions, stick with it. Don't barehand it. Her momentum was taking her toward foul territory. What an awesome play by Mary Haff.
So Doyle at second with 2 down for Morgan Cummins. Cummins lifts a fly ball to McEwen in left. She'll put it away to retire the side. Seen a couple of good defensive plays so far from Arkansas. Scoreless after 2. Back at Baton Rouge, heavy rain holding off. Looks like there's some rain in the forecast on Sunday earlier in the day, so we'll have to see what happens going forward in this series. Beth Torina's team has played such a tough schedule, and she really feels, Amanda, that it's starting to show here with the way the team's played and the results they've been getting by winning series after series in the SEC.
Yeah, they're starting to play really well, and they've seen some really quality pitching. You see the #1 strength of schedule. They've played Texas, Alabama, gone through also NC State, gone through the entire SEC schedule. So they've been through the ringer, but in the end, if you can keep your confidence up, if you can keep your team's morale up and understand what they've been through, they know that it's all going to pay off at the end when it really matters in mayhem. It's the first day of May. That means the postseason is just around the corner, and LSU will feel prepared with this schedule that they've already played.
Happy mayhem to you, Amanda. I didn't get you a mayhem card, though, so I'll have to just
You still have
use
some
mine.
time.
Yes, I still have a little time. 8-9-1 for Arkansas here in the top half of the third. Huffine leads things off. One and one. Another impressive thing about LSU, too, is this is their first home game since April 6th. Their last 9 games were on the road. They went 6-3, so they had not been in Tiger Park in a long time, and now they come back to Tiger Park. in front of a big crowd at Tiger Park as the capacity limits were waived heading into this weekend for baseball and softball, as it's a single to lead things off for Huffine. First hit against SUNSERI gets things going for Arkansas here in the third.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for them to be home and get to play in front of their home crowd. You know, I asked Coach Torina last weekend before Kentucky, you know, with the schedule that you've played, it's like, how have you kept your team confident? And she just said, we've just continued to remind them that this is not the year where someone's going to hit 400 or have a sub-1 ERA. And also she reminded us at that time, too, that this is a really young team. And so about 5 of their everyday starters, this is the first time that they've gone through a really challenging SEC season. And that is an experience in itself.
Throw back, and Huffine is back safely. Number 9 hitter Sam Torres in the box at .310 on the season. Torres offered for a strike. It's 1-1. LSU has won 5 of their 6 SEC series. They lost game 1 in 4 of the 6 series. Now back to your point before, Beth Torina says we're not a team that you really can judge based on their numbers. This is a team that works extremely hard. Sound like maybe too hard. And she referenced Taylor Pleasance maybe backing off a little bit. And this is a team, you know, SUNSERI is one of the hardest workers in the SEC, is someone who hits and pitches, and this is a real hard-working group that fits together pretty well. That's down low. It's 2-2.
Well, and they even changed up how they were doing their practices, too. They were going with smaller groups because of COVID. Of course, every team has had to adjust how they've gone about COVID protocols and practicing and getting in the work. But because they were in more small groups, they were doing more drill work and more mechanical work.
Pull to the right side. They get the lead runner at first. Good play by LSU's defense to get the out. 1 away.
Which, Eric, that small group work and mechanical work and tee work can be good, but then maybe as they were just theorizing on why they were better in game 2 and 3 than in game 1, they were thinking, well, maybe they're too much in their heads about being too mechanical and not just swinging as free as they did in game 2 and 3. So just one of the theories that they were throwing around, they were trying to figure out, especially before last weekend against Kentucky, what the difference was, and just trying to come up with a plan and just change some things with the way that they were going about things to make some adjustments along the way.
Saw a couple adjustments for Beth Torina. Raylene Gutierrez was playing at first base. I thought we had seen Stewart in left field earlier. It was Briggs in the original lineup. And it is Stewart. 8, not 88. That's Briggs. Off speed, good pitch. It's 2-1 to McEwen, who walked her first time.
So they have a lot of outfielders on their roster, and they do what Beth Torina and their staff have come up with as, I'm serious here, they call it the outfield switcheroo. So they'll use all their outfielders and try to get the best offensive lineup and the best defensive lineup, and really be able to use the depth of their roster to be able to play some matchups and get some good defenders early in the game, late in the game, come up with the best at-bats that they can with the talent that they have. Outfield switcheroo, very technical
the
term.
outfield switcheroo does, that technical term, that doesn't apply to Aaliyah Andrews, though.
No,
probably
no.
one of the best defensive center fielders in the game. McEwen with the walk, 2 on, with 1 down for Arkansas here in the third. Second walk for McEwen.
Up next for the Razorbacks, shortstop.
So here's when it gets dangerous for teams, as we've seen in the SEC. Burnside comes up with 2 on and 1 out. Again, swinging at the first pitch, stepping on the bag and throwing across to Gutierrez for the double play. Doyle throws it across, and that LSU defense comes up with a big play.
I'd be jumping up and down too if I just got out one of the best home run hitters in the country. Braxton Burnside has only seen 2 pitches in this game. 1 pitch, 2 outs, double play, you're out.
So already some interesting storylines filling in a little bit more. Arkansas and Florida battling for first place. Florida was run-ruled by Missouri today, so that series is now even at a game apiece. Brooke Wilmus, 3 hits to lead Mizzou to the 10-2 win. We've talked quite a bit about Braxton Burnside. It has not gone her way so far today. More on that as we go along, but she is closing in on the single-season home run record. Kayla Kowalik didn't have a hit today, but Kentucky came back. They were down to their final out at Texas A&M, down 1-0 with 2 outs in the 7th. Grace Spangler had an RBI triple to score Kowalik, who had reached on an error. Autumn Humes had a RBI in the top half of the 8th. Humes then won in relief, her second win of the series, as Kentucky goes back-to-back against A&M, winning today 2-1.
Just so many great storylines in the SEC, especially too with when you go back in February and you see, okay, where were teams picked to finish whenever it was preseason coaches poll, and Ole Miss was picked to finish last in the SEC. First-year head coach Jamie Traxel. They'd been through a bit of drama or turmoil in their program. Not high hopes for the Ole Miss Rebels. However, they have overperformed. So much fun to watch them play, and they sit more at the top of the SEC standings in 5th place at this point.
Ole Miss out of conference this weekend, taking on 24th ranked UCF. Ole Miss just outside the ESPN.com USA softball poll, receiving votes. 8 teams from the conference ranked in the top 25. Danica Coffey leads off for LSU.
And
County
I
evens up at
misspoke.
2-2.
They're in 6th place, but nonetheless, still very, very far from last place in the SEC. And again, Eric, they've been so much fun to watch play defense, getting good pitching performances out of their staff. Great.
(3-2) to Coffey. Back to half, 1 away. Alabama with a run rule win over Georgia today. Crimson Tide had 13 hits in the 13-3 win. Kaylee Tao had 3 hits in their 4-1 win Friday night. So don't forget about Bama as they continue to kind of readjust to their new normal because of those key injuries to their middle infielders. But here come the Crimson Tide. And it's funny to say that, and I should rescind that because they are still ranked 4th in the country, and they're one of the teams at the top of the standings in the SEC.
No, but I think that you're absolutely right. I think that we just think, oh yeah, it's Alabama. Of course they should be ranked in the top 10. Of course they should be at the top of the SEC standings. But they've been through so much adversity in terms of injuries this year, and they've still been able to overcome. They still find themselves in 3rd place in the SEC standings.
Also today, Mississippi State used a 6-run first inning to help them to a 6-2 win over South Carolina to even up that series at a game apiece. Katie Preble had the walk-off winner last night for South Carolina. We'll wrap up the series tomorrow. 2-1 to Andrews, who reached on an infield single in the first. Oh, good off-speed from half, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, I think it's going to make the SEC tournament a lot of fun coming up in a couple of weeks in Tuscaloosa. It's so hard to say, okay, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to be a dark horse? Because it just seems like everybody can beat everybody this year in the SEC.
Andrews to right field. Holding back on it was Monzo. And Aaliyah Andrews is 2 for 2.
Andrews running through the box, gets an off-speed pitch, and she's just able to hit it off the end of her bat and get underneath it to drive it out towards right field. She was just a little bit in front of it, but sticking with it with 2 strikes, battling, being able to drop it in there, right field.
So Andrews wasted no time in stealing second in the first. We'll see if she's off and running on the first pitch to Briggs here. Briggs fouls it off for strike 1. Briggs lays it down, foul ground, 0-2. Freshman from Yorba Linda, California, 6 hits in the Kentucky series, raising her average to .344, second on the team. 7-game hitting streak for the freshman. Down in the count, 0-2.
She brings so much to this LSU lineup with her speed and also just her ability to get an extra base hit too and carry on some RBIs too. 6 doubles, 3 triples, 4 home runs. She can get that extra base hit and find the outfield and find gaps with her speed. And that's what makes LSU so tough at the top, is that you have the speed of Andrews at 1 and then Sierra Briggs, the sophomore, at 2, who just has so many tools back behind her.
Briggs fell behind the count, 0-2. Has it evened up at 2-2, and we'll do it again. Rain has picked up just a smidge, it would appear, in Baton Rouge. Heavy rain moving in overnight should carry into the morning. The hope is that it can clear out before the 5 p.m. Central Time start on Sunday. It's been so long since we've had full capacity at a game. I'm sure some of the fans who haven't been at games are like, well, where is my rain poncho? I haven't pulled that thing out since 2019. Briggs back to half off her glove. This is trouble. And kept in the infield. Andrews is going to hold at second. And I think they're going to call interference here on Andrews for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, you are right that that's going to be the call. A couple of things I'm thinking about is the fact that it hit off of Mary Half's glove, and then also would there have been a play at first base as Huffines goes to field and clearly makes contact with Andrews.
I saw Cameron Ellis and the umpire signal right away, but Andrews hasn't gone anywhere. Now the umpire's going to get together. And now they'll confirm that Andrews is out after running into Huffine.
Yeah, and the thing about how it hit off of Mary Half's glove, reversed directions for Keely Huffine as she was moving more toward the middle of the field and then had to totally change direction to move toward the right side. I think they're going to continue to talk about this and sort this one out.
Conversation is with the plate umpire. So 2 outs here in the third. The out, of course, will stand. Hey, this week's Sunday Night Baseball Series finale, Mets and Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. Our coverage begins 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app with Baseball Tonight's Sunday Night Countdown. The benches and bullpens emptied Friday night after Jose Alvarado was a little too fired up after a strikeout for the Phillies. So you'll see how the rivals wrap things up on Sunday night. Burnside has it to retire Pleasance and retire the side. 3 done in Baton Rouge, scoreless. Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. Game 1 of a 3-game series between the first-place team in the SEC, the Arkansas Razorbacks, and the LSU Tigers. Scoreless through 3 innings. Pitchers duel so far. Mary Haff has made a good defensive play herself. Got help from her fielders to keep LSU off the scoreboard. LSU has 3 hits. They did get Andrews to third in the first inning, but that excellent defensive play by Huffine ended the threat as we move on to the 4th inning. It is raining in Baton Rouge, and Morgan Cummins, I don't know if she's having a contact issue or, well, whatever it is, it's worth a good laugh.
Leading off the Arkansas 4th inning, third baseman, number 20.
She'll head back, and it'll be Gamble to lead things off here for Arkansas. Razorbacks with 5 series sweeps this season in the SEC, and if they were to pull off the unlikely sweep at Baton Rouge, of course, Arkansas hasn't won at LSU since 2005. They pull off a sweep, they're celebrating a regular season championship in the SEC. Florida losing today, so a sweep for Arkansas in their final series of the season would mean Arkansas wins the regular season title and the number 1 seed for the SEC tournament in Tuscaloosa. 2-0 the count to Gamble. There's a strike, 2-1.
And that's that drop ball that I was talking about out of the hand of SUNSERI. It seems like when she needs a strike, that's the pitch that she leans on. When she needs an out or she's in a tough position, she goes to that drop ball and it has some really good down movement. She can even throw it a little bit more up in the zone and still get that break down.
Gamble with a fly ball, foul ground. Good effort coming in on it by Stewart. Almost got there. 2-2 to Gamble.
Anytime a ball goes to the outfield and LSU is in the field, I have to go to Game Tracker, make sure that there wasn't another outfield switcheroo and that everybody is still in place, because you never know. They will keep you on your toes when you're keeping score.
We've been warned. Watch for the switcheroo this weekend between LSU and Arkansas. Thank you, Amanda. 3-2. Gamble fouled out to first, her first time. Gamble, Gibson, and Malkin for Arkansas here in the 4th. Third full count for SUNSERI here today, and it's a leadoff walk. Third time the leadoff batter has been aboard for Arkansas. It's Gamble at first to get things going here in the 4th.
Up next for the Razorbacks, first base.
Both teams have gotten runners on, but also both teams have stepped up to make big defensive plays whenever their teams have needed it the most. I mean, you go back to the top of the third last inning, and LSU was able to turn that double play whenever Braxton Burnside was up to bat. But we've seen Arkansas make some great defensive plays too. It's why the score is still 0-0, and we have that pitcher's duel.
Here's Gibson, who struck out in the first. Strike 1. You will not see a lot of small ball. We already joked about the lack of stolen bases for the Razorbacks. Swinging away, and that's off the glove of SUNSERI. This is trouble, and everyone's safe. 2 on, nobody out for Arkansas. So a tricky play for SUNSERI on a rainy night in Baton Rouge, and it got away from her a little bit too far, so Gibson's aboard. Gamble the second, Amanda, with nobody out.
Well, and SUNSERI is a good athlete in the circle who fields her position well. I like to see her go for that ball. I was a fielding pitcher that wanted to be able to make those plays for myself, too, whenever it kind of looked like it was going to be a ground ball in that no man's land. I thought that I would have the better opportunity, and I think that she just decided that same thing of, hey, I got to try to backhand this and throw it to first for her best chance at getting an out.
She is charged with an error and works back to get a strike. It's 1-1 to Malkin. Malkin struck out in the second. Down and in, couldn't get there. It's 1-2.
I'm just so amazed when you know that a pitcher can throw any pitch in any situation, like SHELBI SUNSERI. She can go up with her rise ball. She can throw a backdoor. She can throw a curve. She can mix in a changeup. But there's always one pitch, Eric. If you really look deep, there's always one pitch that a pitcher is going to favor that she feels the most comfortable to throw in any count. And for SUNSERI, it's that drop ball, and I love her drop ball.
Goes up top, and it's off the glove of Cummins, so the runners will advance. Second and third, nobody out here for the Razorbacks.
And it's so tricky, Eric, as a pitcher, to go from throwing that drop ball with 2 strikes, as you really don't want to throw it through the zone as much. You want to be able to work it, start it at the bottom of the zone and then work it down with 2 strikes, right? And then go from a drop ball to then throw a rise ball the very next pitch, 2 completely different releases, and you're trying not to be too perfect with it. That rise ball just kind of getting away from her as she tries to make that transition from drop to rise.
It scored a wild pitch. 2-2, the count now to Malkin. So LSU with SUNSERI in the circle is going to have to battle here. Keep Arkansas off the scoreboard after a couple of mistakes. A walk to Gamble, a fielding error by SUNSERI, a wild pitch by SUNSERI. Another 2-2 to Malkin.
It just seems like when LSU gets in trouble a little bit, especially lately in SEC play, it's been their defense that would let them down. In fact, look at this. 30% of the runs scored in SEC play against LSU this season have been unearned. Pass balls, errors, the exact situation that they find themselves in right now.
Malkin continues to battle against SUNSERI. Yeah, to your point, Amanda, coming into this game, LSU had committed 44 errors, and it's led to 44 unearned runs. So those errors have proven costly for LSU. But again, they have, on the whole, they've been able to find ways to win series. Now trying to find a way to wiggle out of trouble here in the fourth. Changeup misses. SUNSERI, it looked like SUNSERI was about to raise her palms up saying, where was that? But I think she caught herself and did a big stretch instead.
I think also thinking, how did you not swing at that? I had you fooled, and Malkin was able to hold back on it and live for another pitch.
10th pitch of the at-bat. Malkin with a fly ball. Is this deep enough to get the run in? It's a bluff and a mistake here by Arkansas on the base paths. You saw what happened with Gamble as she took a couple of steps down the line, but Gibson behind her thought she was going for home and was going to take the extra base, or at least try to. Instead, she gets caught in a rundown, and it's 2 outs on the play for SUNSERI and LSU.
It's going to count as a double play. Stewart goes back on this ball, and it's not deep enough for Hannah Gamble to feel like, yes, I can score on this. And she kind of fakes out the defense, but also fakes out Danielle Gibson, the trail runner. So a base running mistake by Arkansas, running themselves out of this inning. Almost. We're not out of the inning yet.
But they are a couple of big steps closer to being out of the jam. Malkin had a double-digit at-bat, was battling with SUNSERI. SUNSERI thought she had strike 3, didn't get it.
And it goes back, Eric. We talked about how Arkansas doesn't have a ton of stolen bases on this season. In fact, they've only had 3 stolen bases. This isn't a team that has a lot of speed, whereas maybe a normal team that has above average speed is a no-brainer for them to tag on that sacrifice fly and likely be able to score. Arkansas doesn't have that confidence in their speed game, so Hannah Gamble stays put at third base.
Also with run producers throughout the lineup and Kayla Green up next, do you want to even risk trying to score and knowing that, well, I've got Kayla Green up there. She's got 11 home runs, 30 runs batted in. She may be able to chase this run home, so why risk it on a shallow fly ball to left field? That could be the thought from Deifel at the third base coach's box.
Yeah, I think I would have gone, because in that situation, so many things have to go right. You have to be able to catch the ball, make a good throw, catch the ball at the plate, make the tag. Also, obstruction, of course, is a big topic in our game today. Potentially, the catcher might obstruct the baseline, and so you might be safe. So I think that there's so many more things that could go right in that instance than wrong, that I think you take a chance in a game like this when you have a scoring opportunity.
Slow roller to third, and LSU is going to get out of the jam. Second and third, nobody out for Arkansas, and the Razorbacks don't score, and that's how quickly the momentum can shift.
We have a pitcher's duel, and you can't have a pitcher's duel without great defense. Arkansas, Keely Huffines, the second baseman, running down a fly ball. And then look at this play by Mary Haff, the pitcher, with the glove flip to first base. Unbelievable athleticism on both parts. We've seen it on both sides, Arkansas and LSU, be able to work out of jams, and that's why there are no runs scored just yet in this game.
And then the last half inning was marked by a couple of mistakes. We had the error in the wild pitch that had Arkansas in great position, but then a base running error by Arkansas resulted in a double play, and LSU was able to get out of the inning without giving up a run to a team that has done nothing but score runs, it seems, right from the start of the season. Arkansas and LSU scoreless as we head to the home half of the fourth. Georgia Clark to lead things off. She was robbed on that play by Huffine that we just showed you a moment ago back in the first. That left Aaliyah Andrews stranded at third. Tiger Park in Baton Rouge, the site game 1 of this 3-game series between LSU and Arkansas. Eric Freed, 2-time All-American Amanda Scarborough, and 100% capacity allowed in Baton Rouge this weekend for the first time. And a pretty good crowd has turned out on what is not a beautiful night weather-wise in Louisiana. One and one the count to Clark. Hard hit ball to Burnside, who has plenty of time to get the out one away. Well, we mentioned what happened for Arkansas last weekend. They salvaged one win out of that 3-game series. They lost game 1 6-3, lost game 2 10-1. They had a season low. Arkansas did 2 hits in each of those 2 games. First time they had back-to-back losses all year, and that's what made that Monday game so important for Arkansas. That's ball 1 to Gutierrez. They won 8-4. They had a season-high 13 hits. So after a back-to-back season low of 2 hits, a 13-hit day, Matt Haff got the win, went 6 1/3 in that game. But it was just the way Arkansas played, Amanda, that was different, because maybe they were thinking about what was going wrong in that series against Missouri and what was going wrong with the team instead of all the things they had done right leading up to that series.
Yeah, it's hard at times to not put too much pressure on yourself. I also think that there's a time in the season.
Gutierrez pops it up on the left side. Burnside calls for it, 2 down.
I think there's a time in the season when a team just kind of hits a lull, and I feel like we've seen that the past couple of weekends. There's been some upsets, there's been some letdowns, and it's just a really long season, Eric. I mean, you start playing at the beginning of February, and back then you're playing in tournaments when you're playing 5 games in a weekend, maybe 7 games in a week. I mean, it is a grind of a season, and then you get to conference and you're playing a top 25 opponent almost every weekend. And you can also put the expectations on yourself and the pressure of the fact that Arkansas is at the top of the SEC standings, most notably because they started out 12-0, undefeated on the season, and ended up getting that first loss against Alabama at home.
Well, obviously, there's championship talk. We've talked about it during this game. It's been talked about the last couple of weeks. That's fouled off the foot of Doyle, down in the count 0-2. And Courtney Deifel said, if we start worrying about winning a championship, we won't be the best version of ourselves. And it's something they talked through after those 2 losses to Missouri. And it turned out to be a pretty good response, very good response on Monday night. Misses, and it hits Doyle. So a mistake by half, an 0-2 pitch hits Doyle. She's aboard with 2 down.
An 0-2 pitch just gets away from half, maybe slipped out of her hands, gets a back foot, top of it. In their last 10 games, they're 6-4, and they've played some good competition in Alabama 3 times, Georgia, Missouri, and then a game against Central Arkansas. And the thing that sticks out to me is the fact that Mary Half's ERA in the last 10 games, 4.25 and about 30 innings pitched coming into this game. Seems like, Eric, there's a little bit more pressure or expectations put on her, and I'm saying that. It's not like we've heard Mary Half say that, right? But because of the fact that Autumn Storms has been questionable with injuries, she's kind of been in and out, and when you feel that your co-ace, so to speak, is injured, you put more pressure on yourself.
SUNSERI pops it up, and that retires a side. 4 innings played, scoreless in Baton Rouge. Arkansas has the 7th-ranked softball team in the country. Arkansas has the 1st-ranked baseball team in the country. And over at Alex Box, LSU had to bring out some heavy hitter. That's Kim Mulkey, the new women's basketball coach at LSU. Of course, her son Kramer was a standout playing for the Tigers. So she threw out the first pitch before Game 2 of the doubleheader here today. And you just saw at the very end there, Kim knew not to step on the foul line, Amanda. Jumped over the foul line. She's been at plenty of baseball games in her day. So the new head basketball coach at LSU trying to bring a little positive juju over to the Tigers, who have dropped the first 2 games of that series to Arkansas, the number 1 team, as I mentioned, in the country.
There's a lot of pressure whenever you throw out a first pitch. So that's what comes to mind whenever I saw her do that. And also big get for LSU to try to turn their basketball program around. But there's a lot of pressure.
You're watching all those first pitches to make sure it doesn't get dirty, that it isn't skipped up there. I mean, a lot of times you think about it, it's not like you're going up and throwing 40 warm-up pitches before throwing the first pitch. Although, from what I know of Kim Mulkey, she may have been in the batting cage somewhere behind the scenes, like getting loose before throwing out that first pitch. She's a little competitive.
Yeah. Of course, she played for Gary Blair at Louisiana Tech, who's the head coach at A&M, so they'll be playing against each other in the SEC.
Ellie Monzo leading things off for Arkansas. Ground ball to Pleasance at short, 1 away. Well, this is unfolding exactly as Amanda Scarborough predicted it would. A scoreless game in the 5th inning between Arkansas and LSU, 2 high-scoring teams, certainly as of late for LSU and all season long for Arkansas. Credit to SHELBI SUNSERI for keeping Arkansas off balance.
Yeah, I like the way that she's been throwing her drop ball and being able to mix her off-speed pitch in. It seems like whenever she's thrown that off-speed pitch, she has thrown it with a purpose. She's thrown it effectively. Whenever she's gone inside like that pitch right there, she's gotten Arkansas to either get jammed or be out and around it, the foul ball toward the left side.
Huffine singled leading off the third inning. Bats here with one out in the fifth. 1-1. Arkansas second in Division I with 87 home runs on the season. They entered play today with an 18 home run lead over Missouri for the SEC lead. Missouri used the long ball today in their 10-2 win over Florida. Two-one from SUNSERI. This one is hit well to left field, but it will stay in the park for Briggs. 2 down. Our NBA Sunday Showcase matchup, a battle between two of the East's best teams. KD, Kyrie, and the first-place Nets will take on the third-place Bucks. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ABC and also on the ESPN app. We'll have to see if Giannis is able to play for the Bucks Sunday. Rolled his ankle this week, missed Friday's game. So hopefully you'll see Giannis take on Durant and the Nets coming up on Sunday. Switcheroo happened, by the way, Amanda. It's Briggs back in left field.
There needs to be like a notification on Game Tracker, you know, like a push notification that comes up to let you know that things have been shuffled around. That would be a great thing to have on there. Really get your attention.
Taryn Antoine is now in right field, so that's a new entrant into the Switchapalooza. I'm just going to come up with different ways to say it over these next 3 days.
We'll have it at SEC tournament too. Can come up with some new ways. And then Georgia Clark goes back to first base. Maybe she was there and I didn't notice it. I don't think so, though. Gutierrez was there.
I think Beth Torina's just doing this just to keep you personally on your toes.
It's like she has a voodoo doll over there, and she just like, take this one, Amanda, take this one. I'm going to move this girl here.
You got the pieces, move them around, and that's what she does in the field. 2-1 is down low to Torres. It's 3-1. SUNSERI has issued 3 walks here today. This is their 19th appearance of the season, or 11th start. It's a very deep LSU staff. SUNSERI getting the start in game 1. Count goes full to 3-2.
Really want to go at Sam Torres, the 9-hole, understanding that McEwen, Burnside, Gamble, and Gibson are just looming on deck.
I must say, it sounds a little different, like a throwback with 2 strikes, and you hear more than just friends and family clapping for that third strike and the strikeout as the crowd makes a little noise at Tiger Park.
You mean it's nice just to not hear the pitcher's parent yelling and hear an entire crowd?
That misses, ball 4, so a walk issued to the number 9 hitter, Torres, and that will turn the lineup over to McEwen.
It's a great at-bat by Sam Torres. Her job is just to get on base at the bottom of the order there, to be able to turn over the order now for Hannah McEwen coming up, who has walked a couple of times, seems to be seeing the ball out of SUNSERI's hand really well.
So 4 walks issued by SUNSERI. 2 have been issued to McEwen, who walked in the first and walked again in the third. Swings at the first pitch. We've seen that a few times here tonight. That is Andrews, who hauls it in to retire the side. 4.5 complete at Tiger Park. Still scoreless. Courtney Deifel in her 6th year as Arkansas's head coach, winningest coach in school history, winning 62% of her games. We talked about the regional win in Fayetteville's first super regional appearance and how good they've been this year, getting off to that great start. 17-4 right now, heading into this 3-game series with LSU, the first place team in the SEC. 185 wins. They had 19 wins last year in the 2020 season. We talked about earlier, her first year, 2016, just 1 win in the SEC. What a story and what a turnaround it would be if they're able to win this SEC regular season title. I don't know if you agreed with Courtney when she said she thinks maybe the rest of the SEC is rooting for Arkansas because someone other than Florida and Alabama deserves a turn to win the regular season title. I don't know if I'd go that far, but maybe it's the case.
Nobody's told me anything, but I'm just imagining being a player in the SEC, and I think I would be rooting for somebody new to win it because it just gives everybody else hope later on that they can do it too. If it's not this year, then you're feeling like, all right, well, Arkansas did it last year, so hey, maybe this could be our year. And it's literally nothing against Florida and Alabama. It's just you want to be able to feel like as a SEC softball player that you could win a championship too.
Cummins pops it up. Burnside calls for it. 1 away. Well, the point you made earlier too, Amanda, about as we get to looking ahead to the SEC tournament, made Arkansas, maybe they win the regular season title, maybe Florida wins the regular season title, maybe it's Alabama, maybe it's Missouri. Who knows who will win the regular season title? But that doesn't guarantee anything. All it guarantees you is a nice #1 seed next to your name because anything can happen in this tournament. You talked about Ole Miss and their turnaround this year. We've seen LSU. We've talked about it, how they're playing some good softball right now. Tennessee has one of the best pitchers in the country as their ace. So it really is going to be wide open, and it could be one of those cases where it's like, well, good luck predicting who will come out as the SEC tournament champion.
I know, and I think that week is going to be so good and so fun. It will all start on May 11th, and it'll go until May 15th, and then the selection show is going to be May 16th at night, which is always a blast and dramaful.
Coffee grounded back to half in the third. Down to the count 1-2. Grounded to Burnside. Almost got by her, but she stuck with it to get the out, 2 away.
Kind of got Burnside back on her heels, but she was still able to come away with it cleanly and be able to make that throw for the important second out with the top of the lineup coming up. Really, at this point in the lineup for LSU, when you have 9-1-2, you have 3 different versions of speed with Coffey, Andrews, and Briggs, and then they come with the power.
Andrews 2 for 2 tonight. Takes ball 1. Reached on an infield single in the first. Singled to right in the third, but then was called out on an interference call in that third inning. She was left stranded at third thanks to the really good play defensively by Kelly Huffine to end that first inning. LSU has not had a batter reach third base or runner reach third base since then. Arkansas has had 1 runner to third, Amanda, and that was when Gamble was there, and as we talked about, could have tried to score on a sacrifice fly, but held her ground, and actually there was a base running mistake behind her by Gibson, turned into a double play. Go ahead, I'm sorry. Or hold that thought. Burnside's been busy. Burnside had to move quickly, and she got the speedy Andrews at first. So Burnside had a hand in all 3 outs in the 5th inning. On to the 6th, still scoreless. SEC's home run leader, Braxton Burnside, ready to lead things off for Arkansas here in the 6th inning, but she has been pretty impatient at the plate tonight, Amanda Scarborough.
It's been quick work for SHELBI SUNSERI in the first at bat. 1 pitch and was able to get the out up and in on her hands, and then went low and away on the first pitch and got her to hit it off the end of her bat. So 2 pitches that Burnside has seen in this game, 2 complete different pitches, 1 up and in on her hands, 1 low and away, 2 completely different forms of outs, and been able to keep her just in the infield.
See if she takes a pitch here from Sunseri. She does for ball 1.
Yeah, and Coach Deifel talked about what she's able to pick up visually when she's at the plate is on a whole different level, and oftentimes too being able to communicate that to her teammates. So being able to talk about spin, release point, and so that's why she doesn't get fooled too often. Unfortunately, I think that backswing, as she followed through, may have hit Morgan Cummins.
One thing we've seen from Burnside, she takes a big, long, full swing, and Cummins may have been caught here, as you said, Amanda.
Gets her to chase the rise ball, and then that big follow through hits her on her hand. Yeah.
Pam Atkinson is the athletic trainer for LSU, and I think Morgan's like, this is it. I'm fine. Let's go. Let's play.
Oh, that was nice. Ended up just patting her on the shoulder. Braxton Burnside did. Good gesture there. Love the sportsmanship.
The 1-1 from Sunseri to Burnside. Now 3-1. What will Sunseri do? Will she challenge Burnside in a good hitter's count?
Yeah, I think no challenge here. I still think she's going to work around her a bit.
And grabbed by the third base. Hang on, who's got it? It's grabbed by Doyle. Pleasant had the dive. Doyle had it in her glove, 1 out.
We're working remotely, so we're just trying to figure out who had the ball. Was there a catch? And it was a changeup that Burnside swung at, got a good piece of, but Taylor Pleasance dove behind Amanda Doyle. But Amanda Doyle robs Taylor Pleasance of being able to make this diving grab, or what would have been a diving grab. But nonetheless, Burnside is 0 for 3 in this game. That is huge for LSU's defense.
I appreciate Taylor Pleasance selling it at shortstop, but that doesn't really help us when the ball's in the glove of the third baseman, Doyle. Good play by Doyle for out number 1.
They both really fooled us, right? Because then Amanda Doyle looked back. I thought she was looking to see if Taylor Pleasance had the ball, and they're still laughing about it.
They should. Gamble's 0 for 1. Walked and was left stranded at third in the 4th. Two and 0. Sunseri falls behind 3-0. Sunseri went the distance last time out against Kentucky. She's issued her 5th walk of the game. Our next MLS match on ESPN and on the app is tomorrow. Nashville hosting Inter Miami. Our coverage starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 10 a.m. Pacific. Nashville, a couple of late rallies to open their season to pull out a couple of draws. You'll see them in action on Sunday afternoon. There's been a scoring change as Danielle Gibson steps in. Originally scored an error on SUNSERI in the 4th. It's been changed to a hit, so now she's 1 for 2, and she swings at the first pitch. Soft bloop to second. Tidwell's got it. 2 down.
Eric, that changeup has been what I think the difference maker for SHELBI SUNSERI. She's been able to throw it effectively for a strike, been able to really sell it and get these hitters out on their front foot, oftentimes hitting it off the end of their bat. I mean, she's been able to mix it in any count that she wants to.
5 of the outs for Arkansas have just been 1-pitch outs from SUNSERI. Arkansas has been very aggressive at the plate. They've been an aggressive team all season long. They have the most home runs in the SEC. They also have the most strikeouts. They also have the most walks. Been quite the contrast for Arkansas this year. 2-0 from SUNSERI to Malkin.
Yeah, they actually work on vision training. You mentioned how many walks that they had, number 3 in the country in walks. Really work with an eye doctor, and they work vision training. They work a little virtual reality with a company called Win Reality.
Two and one. Two and two as SUNSERI continues to work down to Malkin.
And Morgan Cummins just got so pumped up for SHELBI SUNSERI. A couple of back-to-back drop balls that just fell off the table right below the knee to get back into this count. Three drop balls in a row, getting her to chase out of the zone. That fell off the table.
Tight one to start this top 25 matchup between LSU and Arkansas. Some good defense from Arkansas in the early going. Eliminated a couple of threats. Best play was that one by Kelly Huffine out into right field. Running error here. Arkansas didn't tag, but the problem was back behind Gamble. Danielle Gibson got caught off the bag, so it was a double play. Arkansas had second and third, nobody out in that 4th inning, but they did not score. Mary Haff and SHELBI SUNSERI pitching shutouts so far, Amanda Scarborough.
Oh, it's been such a good game. Both teams working out of jams. Of course, the biggest difference whenever you look at the pitching lines is the fact that SUNSERI has given up 5 walks and Mary Haff hasn't walked anybody up to this point.
Florida with a loss to Missouri today opens the door for Arkansas. If they are able to sweep this series in Baton Rouge, they would win the SEC regular season championship for the first time. But this series has been dominated in Baton Rouge by LSU. LSU has won 17 in a row in this series in Baton Rouge as Briggs lifts it out of play. Last Arkansas win at LSU was April 6th of 2005.
That was a long time ago.
A sweep would seem unlikely if you let history be your guide, but as we've talked about, this has been a historic season in good ways for Arkansas. But LSU is a team that's come on certainly as of late. They've been consistent winning series all season long. They've won 5 of their 6 SEC series. coming off a series win over Kentucky when they took 2 out of 3 for Beth Torina. They will wrap up their SEC schedule next weekend at home against Auburn. That'll be a Friday to Sunday series. That's up and in. It's 2-2.
Yeah, about half of the games that LSU has played this season have been against top 25 opponents, whether you're going off of the rankings or the RPI. They had 12 wins, too, so they had those 12 losses against top 25 RPI.
Briggs slaps it to left, but it's foul. Strength of schedule for LSU, number 1 in the country. As Amanda mentioned, 22 games against top 25 teams in the RPI. So they've played challenging schedules.
Well, I said this last weekend, but if there was something higher than a number 1 strength of schedule, like I feel like that's what LSU would have. Is there anything higher? They played such an incredibly challenging schedule, and it just doesn't even seem like one does it justice. It's been such a tough schedule.
I'd like to be a good teammate, but when you're number 1,
Not
they're
much
at the top of the heap. Another 2-2 to Briggs. Little slow roller, really good at bat. Leadoff single for Ciara Briggs. Her first hit of the night, and LSU has the leadoff batter aboard for the first time since the first inning when Andrews led off with an infield single.
With the speed of Briggs, once the ball gets past Mary Half, it's for sure going to be a hit. When she can't backhand it there, Briggs is going to be able to get down the line almost halfway at this point and beat out the step-for-step move that Braxton Burnside is going to move up the middle of the field and try to get her out, but didn't even make a throw because it wasn't even close.
Well, Briggs is 10 for 10 on steals this season. As a team, LSU 5th in the SEC with 53 stolen bases and 56 attempts. How aggressive does Beth Torina want to get here with Pleasance at the plate? Do you run Briggs? Kayla Green's been very good throwing out base runners, 28% on the season. They go with the bunt with Pleasance, and the sacrifice is successful with the number 3 hitter. So Briggs moves into scoring position with 1 down.
Like the execution there, it's not every day that you see a 3, 4, 5 hole be able to put down a bunt and look good doing it, but just giving up her at bat to be able to move Briggs into scoring position in this close game. Good job of execution by Taylor Pleasance.
Georgia Clark steps in and takes strike 1.
We asked Coach Torina, hey, who are a couple of the under-the-radar type hitters up to this point in the season? And she mentioned Morgan Cummins, and then she also mentioned Georgia Clark.
Clark with a pop-up to Burnside. Big out there, 2 down.
Couple of up and in pitches, up and down her hands, gets her out on that second pitch with the runner in scoring position. Just feels like a really big out considering that's the cleanup hitter who just got out pretty quickly with the runner in scoring position.
So LSU goes a little unconventional. That was the first sacrifice for Pleasance this season. So you sacrifice with your number 3 hitter to get Briggs in the scoring position, but Clark with the soft pop-up, and now Gutierrez with 2 down. Takes a ball. Gutierrez 0 for 2, struck out in the second, popped out in the fourth. Gutierrez with a fly ball to center field, and now coming on is Torres after taking a step back to retire the side. On to the 7th, scoreless.
Mentioned how Arkansas uses virtual reality to work on their offense, on their vision training, on seeing the pitch out of a pitcher's hand. And this is what it looks like whenever they have that gear on. This is what it looks like in their perspective, being able to use virtual reality to have pitch recognition, be able to recognize pitches, release point, how quick the ball is going to be able to get to the plate, also take a few swings. So many things that you can do with Win Reality's virtual training. Pretty cool. Or virtual reality training, I should say.
So it looked like a video game. You know, something like, hey guys, we're going to play a video game here, and it's. But you could see there was like, it was incorrect, or there wasn't the right recognition.
Well, and you can
it's different.
Yeah, and you could even see the pitch out of the hand and pick what type of pitch it was. You can decide whether if it was just a ball or a strike, and this is in beta, but actually swinging at the pitch if it's a strike and getting instant feedback on exit velocity and also distance too. So that's new and just adding to it. But Arkansas coaches rave about it. Whenever we asked them about drawing walks and just having plate discipline, they went back to their eye doctor, vision training, and then VR, being able to use this training.
Everyone just trying to stay a step ahead of everyone else. 3-0 to count to Kayla Green, leading off things here in the 7th inning in a scoreless game between 7th-ranked Arkansas and 14th-ranked LSU. SUNSERI has issued 5 walks. There's the strike. Green flied out to left in the 2nd, grounded to 3rd in the 4th. SUNSERI closed out the 6th inning with her 3rd strikeout of the game, trying to open the 7th with another strikeout. Leadoff walk to Green.
She's wanted that changeup, I think, maybe 3 different times in this game, that's just a little bit more up in the zone. And each time she's thrown it right here, she's not gotten it called. And each time she's thrown it there, she's wanted it to be called.
Going to have a bench runner at first for Arkansas. Number 6, Callie Kildow.
Callie Kildow will come on to run for Green.
Runner at first for the Razorbacks. Further ahead, number 66, the right fielder, Ali Monzo.
So we'll see how Arkansas decides to play it. Do they try to sacrifice with Monzo? Fouls it off for strike 1. Down on the count 0-2. Monzo with 1 sacrifice this season. And most likely swinging away here now down on the count 0-2.
Didn't quite, to me, look fully committed to that sacrifice bunt, fully sure of herself. And then if you're Monzo, the best thing that you can do right now is try to put the ball on the ground and be able to advance the runner from first to second base, which is what you were trying to do with that bunt. You want a quality at bat. You want an at bat that actually advances that base runner 60 feet to move her closer to scoring.
Little bloop behind the plate and diving forward and making the grab is Cummins. One away. Heads up base running by Kildow to tag up and get to second. So a highlight reel play for Cummins. But in the end, mission accomplished for Arkansas because they got the runner into scoring position.
More defense. Morgan Cummins finds that ball right away and just gives up her body, understanding too that the wall is just right there. And yes, the runner advanced from first to second. Take another look at it here. Unbelievable play by Morgan Cummins. But what that play did was just get the crowd even more into it.
And then a ground ball through the left side and a base hit. So first and third as Huffine comes through with the base hit. So first and third, one out for the Razorbacks.
Props to Keely Huffine, who came into this game hitting 170 and has 2 hits. Has the first hit of the game for Arkansas way back in the third, and an important one here to have runners in the corners now with less than 2 outs.
Well, Cummins, as I mentioned, had the highlight reel grab, but give a lot of credit to Kildow, who comes in as a pinch runner, retreated to first base as that short pop-up behind the plate was being hauled in by Cummins, and she took off and took second base. You saw LSU, they were trying to get in position. They knew they had the potential for that runner to go, but Kildow got there, and now she's at third base, as you mentioned, Amanda, with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Great base running. We talked about Arkansas not having a ton of speed, but Kildow being able to take that extra 60 feet and advance and just put more pressure on LSU's defense.
So after the long conversation, SHELBI SUNSERI will try to work out of another jam. So far tonight, the walks have not hurt her. She's issued 6, but the 6th walk was issued this inning to Green leading off the inning. She was run for by Kildow, who now stands at third base. And a pinch hitter for Arkansas is Ryan Jackson. Big spot for one of the Arkansas seniors and takes a rip for strike one. One and one, throwing back behind Kildow, but she's there safely. And taking second base is Huffine, so second and third with 1 out. And they pinch in on the infield in a scoreless game here in the 7th. And Jackson comes through with a soft line to the left. It drops in for a base hit, and Arkansas is on top 1-0 here in the 7th. Clutch hit by senior Ryan Jackson to put the Razorbacks in front.
Bottom of the lineup, getting it done for Arkansas. Ryan Jackson gets an inside pitch on her hands and is able to get enough on it to be able to find grass out there in front of the left fielder Briggs. Nothing more special than a pinch hitter, especially a senior, entering a game and being able to push across the first run. And you see the emotion. And what hurts for LSU is that run that scored got on via a walk.
Sunseri's been on the tightrope all night long with the bases on balls, and it finally comes back to hurt her. Again, Kildow with a heads-up play, tagging up, taking second base. Moving over to third on the single by Huffine, who now stands at third base. Jackson with the clutch single to put the Razorbacks on the board here in the 7th. And back up to the top of the order for McEwen. 0-2.
You know, Eric, sometimes head coaches just have this intuition and the gut feeling to put a player in a certain situation. And before that RBI single by Jackson, she was hitting .095 with runners in scoring position.
That certainly would tell me it wasn't a case of going by the numbers. It was going by the gut. 1-2 to McEwen, who's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Ground ball to the shortstop. Pleasance with a nifty little play. Does it herself to get the double play to retire the side. But Arkansas on the board as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
You know an SEC championship is at stake, and the senior Jackson comes through for Arkansas to give them the lead.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. It's been a good one at Tiger Park, game 1 of the 3-game series. First place Arkansas with a 1-0 lead after finally breaking through in the top half of the 7th inning. An RBI single from Ryan Jackson, putting Courtney Deifel's team in front, trying to take a big step towards a regular season championship in the SEC. This is the final series of the season for Arkansas. They are idle next week. Florida has lost here today, so this would be huge for Arkansas, but they have to put it away here in the 7th with Mary Half trying to go the distance. Four hits in 6 innings so far for Half. She has not issued a walk. And Amanda Doyle will step in to lead things off for LSU here in the 7th.
She's done a good job of throwing strikes, only 82 pitches coming into this bottom of the 7th inning. She's been so efficient, been able to work from ahead, make her rise ball lower through the zone, be able to work her changeup as well and mix speeds.
Doyle singled in the 2nd, was hit by a pitch in the 4th. Down on the count, 1-2.
And Doyle, a hitter for LSU, is not going to go down easily. A senior and a player that you can just tell is a leader for this program. Played so many games wearing an LSU uniform, so many at-bats. She's been through a lot, ton of experience in her.
Doyle, Sunseri, Cummins to face Half here in the 7th. Swing and a miss for out number 1.
It's uncharacteristic for Amanda Doyle to swing at a pitch this far out of the strike zone, and Mary Half is like, thank you. Curveball with a little bit of rise on it, never even really started as a strike. Definitely didn't end at a strike.
Second strikeout for Half. She had struck out Gutierrez back in the 2nd inning. She's let her defense help her here today. Ball 1 to Sunseri. Sunseri 0 for 2.
I mean, Mary Half has done such a good job against this LSU offense that there's only been 1 runner to third base this entire game, and that was all the way back in the 1st inning. Aaliyah Andrews got there.
2-1. Andrews would have scored in the 1st inning were it not for a great play by Kelly Huffine, the second baseman for Arkansas, who sprinted out into right field and made a terrific catch to retire Georgia Clark and end the threat. 2-1. 2-2.
She's just been hard to barrel up. There have even been very few balls hit to the outfield against her. You can tell that LSU's timing hasn't been on point because of that changeup, because she's been able to get pitches up and in on their hands and jam them.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Half here in the 7th, 2 down.
It's big time. Coming into this inning, Mary Half only had 1 strikeout. It's her 2nd of this inning, and it comes at a great time for Arkansas to be able to get SUNSERI 2 quick outs with the lead in the bottom of the 7th.
Strike 1 to Morgan Cummins, who's 0 for 2. Flied out to left in the 2nd, popped to short in the 5th. 17th first pitch strike thrown by Half here today, who's worked ahead throughout the night. LSU down to their final strike. Half ready with the 0-2. She strikes out the side to end the game, and first place Arkansas stretches their lead in the SEC.
Arkansas defeats LSU 1-0.
What a game this was. Arkansas just grinding out a win, a 1-run win, when the hits were the same, when the biggest differences were the walks, but Mary Half pitched such an incredible game, didn't walk anybody, and when her team gave her the lead in the 6th inning, in the top of the 7th, she struck out the side in the bottom of the 7th. All on this curveball. She had 1 strikeout coming into this inning, and she strikes out the side to be able to get Arkansas this win. And man, Arkansas, they're just tasting that SEC regular season championship.
Still a lot has to happen here, but Arkansas back with the advantage in the loss column with 2 games to go in the regular season for the Razorbacks. Florida losing today, so the Razorbacks keep their lead in the SEC. Mary Half had a strikeout in the 2nd inning. That was it until the 7th when she struck out the side for Mary Half, her 4th career shutout, her 4th shutout this year and 22nd of her career. So Arkansas takes game number 1 of the 3-game series at LSU. We'll see you tomorrow night. Hopefully the weather cooperates. For Amanda Scarborough and our crew, I'm Eric Freed. So long. Arkansas wins it 1-0.